This video is about your mother, and about mountain biking, and about music, and about how all these things mean nothing unless you understand where you are in the world. Watch this video. It'll change your life, and you will be a different person. Pay me money, and you can listen to music that will change your life forever. With these people at this place, with this painting, with that guy, you will be different. You will be everything you ever thought you needed to be. Love it, hate it, share it. Your mother will be proud of you, so do it. So Big D, we just got done this great biking trip to pick up this great painting. What were some of your thoughts of the trip overall, the adventure and the trails in the Fernie BC area?
Well, first of all, moderate. Yeah. First of all, it's a pretty majestic valley here. You know, we have great mountains in western BC, but locally we don't see the rock tops, and I love the Rocky Mountains. I think they look really cool, so it was great to see mountains like that around. And Fernie's a real quaint town, lots of brick buildings that are kind of heritage style, which I loved as well. People here were great. On the mountain bike trails at the resort, I mean, there's a lot of great work that's been put in, and the local trail network is as good as any that I've come across. So real kind of hot spot for all things outdoors, if that's what drives you.
I agree with that.
What'd you think? Okay,
crank it up.
cool.
Okay, that was awesome. Good recovery.
Take two.
I really like the. Here's the thing, man. I really like the park trails. I thought they were really fun. A lot of really different technical riding. Their classing system is completely different than Whistler. The stuff that you and I would call a blue, they're calling a black or a double black. And the stuff that is a black outside the park is pretty awesome riding, and I think it fits well with the black nomenclature. I think the trails outside the park are probably if they're anything like what we did outside the park, the other 70 odd trails that are around, they're amazing. The trails outside of the actual bike park are amazing. And the riding is fantastic. And talk about the grind up, like the grind up is substantially the hardest thing I've ever ridden before, or tried to ride. Some of it consists of pushing the friggin' bike up with swear words as fuel, because it was savage. But it was fantastic. It was such a great trail. That last one we did, Project 9. P9, is that what it goes by?
That's
P9?
what locals call it.
Yeah. Easily the best trail I've ever ridden my entire life.
Easily the best trail I've ever ridden my entire life. Easily the best trail I've ridden in my entire life.
Easily the best trail I've ridden in my entire life.
It was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal adventure. It was beautiful. It was flowy. It had serious text, super steep. Nothing too gnarly like end of your life gnarly, but it was pretty fantastic.
180 meters gained.
Wow.
On 2.4, and then there's Project 9.
I feel like the description, can you get to the trail description of Project 9 or P9?
Yeah.
Because to me the description actually was accurate. Like I thought this is exact. I knew what I was getting into when they described it.
So actually total, because there's a little bit of climbing to start Project 9.
Sure.
316 meters gained in about 3 kilometers.
Wow.
I think that's pretty solid.
Yeah, that's dope.
So locals told us to expect everything.
Right.
It's got a bit of everything. And the guys at the bike shop, who are very dedicated riders, said they were screaming the whole way down when they rode it the other day after they dried out because it was so awesome.
Wow.
So in the description, this is a ride of different sections. Start by staying right from the top unless you want some serious drops as you head down through the forest. You quickly hit the river washout area with various options in terms of trail, lots of rocks, little drops, and riverbed type riding. Once out of that, you hit a super flowy section through a cut block and lefts and rights that bring you to the power line. Head straight across and you have a short uphill section that takes you to the roller coaster, little flat sections followed by sudden down. Super fun and exhilarating. Anyway, that's a little brief rundown.
Yeah, I feel that describes it extremely well. That trail's money, dude. That trail is so prime. You don't it's like you've never been on a trail before, and this is your first experience, and that's the feeling that I got at the end. It was, wow. This reminds me why I love this sport so much. It's why it's so fun. Not that it was super gnarly. That was the best part. It wasn't like, oh, that was the gnarliest thing I've ever done. Yeah, no, it wasn't. It had everything that makes mountain biking amazing. Flow, tech, and everything in between. Huge berms, crazy steep descents, routes, climbs, which makes it nice and XC. I loved it.
Yeah.
I just absolutely loved it. I thought it was the highlight of my biking career. Absolutely want to go back. And that was we just did two trails. That's the craziest part of Fernie BC. We did 2 trails outside the park, and they were phenomenal. I can't imagine living here and doing all of them. Talk about incredible stuff. Makes you think of a great summer destination. So, also, let's talk about those dudes that we saw, the super ramped up dudes. Let's talk about those dudes.
Well, first of all, I think they live off of energy drinks. What are those 5-hour energy drinks?
Yeah, dude.
They were as hyped up as you'll ever come across. Mohawks.
Yeah.
Punk rocker from 1984.
Yeah, dude.
All the different lip rings, nose.
Sure. Looks like he could have been the lead singer to Operation Ivy or Sex Pistols or something.
Yeah. Oh, and they were just screaming in the line about how much fun they were having.
Yeah.
Top Gun, the best run of all time.
Yeah. That is a great trail. Great trail.
The relationship with his bike was deeper than the relationship with his girlfriend.
That's what he said. That's right. That is what he said.
He was they were on fire.
So funny.
They were high-fiving.
Oh, yeah.
And just fully decked out. And then we watched the ride.
Yeah.
And, they're better in the air than us, at least I would say.
Sure.
But it was actually almost the same.
Yeah.
So their enthusiasm, I just wish I could feel that way when I was doing a 3-foot tabletop. It was awesome. The one guy had a motocross background, so he was actually pretty good. But a couple of other guys, they just worked, and
it's so hardcore. Full DH rigs, full kits.
Oh,
and
is that 8 inches of suspension?
Dude, crazy triple grounds. Yeah. It was so funny.
Yeah, they were hopped up.
It actually reminded me, Del. It reminded me of when you and I went to Hawaii, Oahu, and we're in that board shop and we're listening to those 2 dudes, the dads, talking about their kids and raising kids and how aggressive raising kids is and how why it's so important to do it so well. And the dad's kind of not lamenting, but he's feeling sorrowful a little bit. He's I just love my kids so much, and it's so difficult raising these kids. And then his buddy's and was it gnarly, bro? and the dad's yeah, bro, it was gnarly. Yeah. And I'm I love the way these guys talk.
Yeah.
I love the way these guys talk, and that's 10 years ago. And I'm that's the way I need to talk, because that's a great way to positive outlook on life. Just beautiful.
Yeah.
So those dudes, those dudes that we saw yesterday, that they made part of that trip. And what's funny is that these dudes are like super awesome. And as we're going up, what happened in the chairlift with the people coming down? Dave coming down.
Oh, what did he say to us? What did he say?
He's like-
'Cause we waved at him.
Yeah,
he was
that's
a
right.
worker at the resort. He was
Yeah.
kind of providing directions at
Yeah.
the top of the lift.
Yeah.
Maybe a Scottish accent or
That's
something
right.
like
That's
that, right?
That's right. Dave. Yeah, big Dave.
Little dude, actually.
Yeah. I was thinking of the other rescue dude.
Was it Len? No. That guy's huge.
Scott. Yeah, he was
super nice. Super nice.
Super nice.
But little Dave.
Little Dave.
So he's like, what did he say?
He's like, oh, it's the hardcore riders.
Yeah, the hardcore bunch or something. Calling us hardcore. I'm like, I think you mean to be talking to the chair behind us because those guys were in.
Yeah. It was so funny. As if we were the hardcore, the three dads on the chairlift.
Yeah.
Pretty responsible, rad, and we're the hardcore crew.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah,
but,
no, not at all.
It was so funny. So funny.